Hi everyone, I hope you're all well. How are you all? You all seem in very good spirit this afternoon. I can see you all chatting to each other. It's quite a nice day, isn't it? So, hello Linda, Nola, Christine, Phil, Doreen. There's quite a few on. Patricia, Karen, Julie. I hope you're all well. Seems like ages since this is what TV does to me, see. Once they get hold of me, they don't let me back out. So anyway, I am back and I'm here all week, which is fabulous. So my name is Tony Darroch and I'm a guest presenter over on Create and Craft, and I love anything to do with crafting. So stamping, die cutting, particularly colouring. Might be with a paintbrush or a pen or a pencil, but I love to colour. Bit of mindfulness for us all, hey? So if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to click the subscribe button, and if you want a better viewing experience, because sometimes it's a little bit glitchy, you can click that little HD button and it enhances it a little bit for you. So if you can pop a comment below the live video, this just gives us a wider reach to more people, more inspiration, caring and sharing and all the good stuff that we do in our live studio. If you are on Facebook, I do post the pictures afterward as well, and you can pop a comment below on that one too. And if you're not in our Eureka fan page, why are you not in there? The Eureka fan page is a fabulous Facebook page where you can get hints, tips, inspiration, help, guidance, even if it's not a Stamps by Me product. If you're having difficulty with something, there are lots of ladies, very talented ladies on there who will be able to maybe help you out, tell you some alternatives, and get your crafty journey going. If we have little hiccups, we're here to help. So anything else to tell you about? I have so much to tell you about. Let me just grab my book here very quickly. So it's been Monday mornings are always a busy day for us at Stamps by Me. We have our morning meeting, which results in lots of notes. How did last week go? How's this week gonna go? What have we got on this week? You can imagine, can't you? But anyway, I just wanted to tell you about a couple of things that's going on. So I am on TV on Friday, so you'll have me in studio Monday, Wednesday. Claire will be in studio on Thursday at 1 o'clock, which is great. So you get to see a different face, a different take on crafting. And some great news is we're going to have the lovely Carly in studio too, which is incredible. So Carly's first appearance live here in studio. She better keep it tidy with all that ink and stuff. I might have to put plastic over everything. You know what she's like, that ink and everything's going everywhere. So I'm going to have a word, keep it tidy. Carly's here on the Saturday the 22nd of August, and she's live in studio at 10 o'clock. So if you are a fan of the Imala brand and Carly's sort of mixed media, collage take on things, you need to tune in. But as always, you know, it is YouTube and it never goes away. So even if you can't sit down and watch it on the Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, you can watch it with a cup of tea later in the evening. So that's brilliant. So we're going to have lots of faces appearing here in studio. A variation of crafts, so you get inspiration from all genres. So you might like a little bit that I do, a bit that Carly does, a bit Claire does, mix them all together and you're going to end up with something hopefully incredible. So I hope that's okay. So also on the same day that Carly is live in studio at 10 o'clock, she's going to be in the shop after lunch demoing too. So the shop will be open. So lots and lots to look forward to in the up and coming months. We know we need to get our craft spirit going again. We need to get things back on track, obviously safely, with all the rules and guidance in place, but we need to get our crafting back, don't we, and get all the good stuff back. You know, seeing our friends, obviously we're not allowed to touch, but seeing, smiling, talking, encouraging, it's just amazing, isn't it? So those things are going to be back on track very, very soon. So if you don't live too far away or the journey's not too long, come and say hi. Or if you can't get to store, at least you know she's going to be live here in studio using some of the fabulous Imala products. So it's all good. It's all good. I want to keep you at home as entertained as possible. I know a lot of you do rely on our studios. So if I can get people in this building to craft so you can watch and learn and take what you need from it, then I'm going to do that. Definitely going to do that. So I am on TV myself on Friday. I will be doing a Facebook Live at some point this week. I haven't decided a day or a time as of yet, but I will keep you posted on that one. But what we're going to do in studio today is we're going to work on the fabulous thank you stamp. You know, the one that was a gift from me to you guys at home to say thank you for purchasing any Craft Academy stamps. So if you did buy a Craft Academy stamp from us here at Stamps by Me, you will be getting this in the post from Monday. Okay, they are being packed as we speak. There is a lot. And there is also a lovely little card in there for you all to read as well from me. So these are being sent, I think, from this Monday. They're being packed as we speak. So if you did buy a Craft Academy stamp, this is on its way to you free of charge as a gift from Stamps by Me, Tony, Tim and Tom, for all the money that we raised. And then all the rest of the money that was left, we gave you all a lovely stamp. So that will be coming to you all soon. So we're going to use this one. So when it does land on your doorstep, you've got some inspiration to go at. And the lovely Karen from our design team has this stamp, and she's been working on some inspiration too for you. So after studio, she's going to post a few of the cards that she's been working on. And as you all know with Karen, she's quite, what's the word I'm looking for? She's quite inky. So you're going to be in for a surprise. Inky and texture and backgrounds and things like that. And this stamp is going to lend itself beautifully to that one. So, Kyle and the double order of pens. Kyle, that's been sent today, I think. I'm not sure. I'll have a look at that one after studio for you, sweetheart. No problem at all. But I did see the order, darling, so I will get it sorted for you. So I hope that's okay. Good to go, are we? So I'm going to do a little bit of inspiration in studio today using the lovely thank you stamp. And then Karen's going to post some makes afterward, and then we'll use it again tomorrow. So you've got lots to go at for when it does land on your doorstep. And let me know when you get it at home if you like it. And maybe what you're going to do with it. I can't wait to see all your makes. There's nearly 2,000 stamps going out the door. So yes, it's an epic, which is great. And it fills me with joy knowing you're all getting a little gift to play with. So let's, shall we craft? That's why we're here. So first of all, let me just grab my Eureka here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to try and do a little bit of layering today and a little bit of texture. I'll just turn that gold card over because it's going to reflect and make me potentially look sunburnt. So I have a piece of white cardstock here, and I'll just show you here the lovely stamp. So we've got a bird in a lovely branch here, which is lovely. We don't often do birds, so it's something a little bit different to anything you have from Stamps by Me already. Then we've got this lovely creeper, and then we've got this tall thin one, and then we've got the Dream, Create, Inspire. And this one is lovely and very appropriate and very fitting for what we went through with obviously the lockdown. And then Make Your Dreams Happen. Again, another very fitting sentiment. So let's just set this one aside. So first of all, I'm just going to put some ink or some colour onto my mat here. Just get this in straighten this up because Nathan will be having kittens. So I'm just going to use my Eureka lid here, and I've just got some colours here. So I'm just going to go with the purple, but if you don't have pens, you can use your watercolour ink pads, anything you have in your stash. You don't have to have the products that I am specifically using, but if you do like them, you know that you can go to our website www.stampsbyme.co.uk, and if you pop FBL into the search engine, you'll see all the new products, maybe my products, other brands' products, so you can get straight to where you need to be. But as always, you might have something in your stash that you can do this technique with. You can actually buy this stamp if you want to. So maybe at the time of the Craft Academy there were no stamps that you liked. Maybe you do like this one. You can actually buy this one. This is available on the website as well. So you can buy the stamp if you want to. But you know, if you did buy a Craft Academy stamp, you can sit back and know you're going to get one through the post. So I'm going to pick up some of this lovely purple. I'm just going to give it a spritz with some water. And what I'm going to do is this is normal card, guys, not watercolour card. And I like sometimes to use normal card because it gives you texture. It sits differently because there's a lot of chalk in the card. It sits differently. Whereas with watercolour card, you get the capability to move it around. Well, I'm not right bothered about moving it around today. I want texture. So normal cardstock, and I'm just going to pop it on there like so. Pick up that colour, and you'll know it's picking up that colour because the corners will start to curl. And we should end up with a bit of texture because it's just, there we go, look, you can see you've got the lines in there. Can we see that there? So let's go with the lovely pinkish colour here. Get lots of colour, sorry about the squeak, it's because of my dog. And then we'll spray this one. And then I'm just going to pop this on top. So you don't have to get messy if you don't want to. It's personal preference. I just try and keep it as clean as I can. So there we go. Got that lovely colour there. I'm going to go back in with that purple though, because I've lost a little bit of it. What I'm going to do though is I'm just going to clean this down so I don't ruin my pens. So just grab some tissue. We'll go back and add some of that lovely purple. And then spray again. And hopefully we'll get a nice patch of purple in there too. Hopefully. You can see now, can you see how the card is oversaturated? It's starting to come through. Be mindful of that. It should be okay, but just be mindful when you're using normal cardstock, that will happen. There we go. So I've got like a purpley pinky tone on there. Let me just grab here, because I have a whole box of pens under here. Pens, pencils, all sorts going on. So I'm just going to see if I've got a darker purple. So I can just get a little bit of dimension in there. Hopefully this might be a little bit darker. Try this one, but again I'm taking the risk because it's normal cardstock, so just be mindful of that. Oh, that's better. I've got some purple in there now, sort of like getting lost before. There we go, that card's not going to take any more water. So let's just clean the Eureka lid and let's move on to the next stage. So I'm just going to dry this off with my gun, because it's a little bit soggy. So hi May, Tracy, David, Selma, Hazel, Enid, Jan, Joe. Lovely to see you all. I hope you're all well. I'm just giving this a good old, make sure it's dry. I think that's probably as good as it's going to get. So I'm just going to bob it under my Eureka here so it hopefully flattens out. It still feels damp, but so it just flattens out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this lovely, I am going to use this stamp for my focal point, but I'm going to use this border type one here, and we're going to create a border. So let's just move these. Just move that coffee there. You've seen the trailer, hey? Don't worry, Doreen, you're not late. You haven't missed much, just done an inky background. So all I'm going to do is I have this pretty panel here. I'm going to have a panel. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a border across here. So when we come to put our panel on, I'll have decorative across the base and decorative across the top. So let's just hold this in place. Now, first of all, what I am going to do is, let's just twist that out a little bit. I'm going to attempt to stamp in the same colours with my pens. So the darker purple, I'm going to try, it might not show, but you know, because our stamp is in the right place, it won't hurt anything if it doesn't work. So I'll do all of those flowers. Looks like there's two nice ones on there. We'll just go purple. And then I have a green. Let's get this green on here. So I'm just covering the stamp, my pen is on its side. Never do it like this, you'll ruin the nib of your pen. So turn that pen on its side. I'm not going to spray with any water either. I just want it to be a suggestion because we're going to do some layering with this one. So let's see how this looks. Let's go for it. Give it a push down. I like that. So I'm going to leave that. In fact, I haven't got all of the colour to go over. It's probably because it's still a little bit wet. That's fine. So let's take the stamp off. And I'm just going to sort of maybe creep it up here a little bit. And I'm just going to do exactly the same process. So the purple on its side. Oh, I think this might be a different purple. And then the green. So I'm not bothered if the colours contaminate into each other because again you get that realistic appearance of watercolouring too, so you know, don't be hard on yourself if it doesn't quite stamp perfectly. Yeah, it was a different purple, can you tell? Never mind, it's okay. So I'm just going to bring this lovely border back in here just to see where I'm going with it. Then I'm going to take the stamp. I'm just going to do a pretty one at the base too. So I can see roughly where I'm going. So I'm going to do one down here. So basically it's going to be stamped 4 times. So 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. So again, repeat the process. And then the green. So it's sort of like the detail in the background, it looks really, really pretty. And then just move this one over here. Let's pop. And then the last one. Oops. So I've swapped out the different purple this time just to create a little bit of dimension because it's looking a little bit flat with all the same colour. But you could use a whole host of colours, ombre effect. Yes, this is the new stamp that you will be receiving. If you've purchased a Craft Academy stamp, this is the stamp, the gift stamp from me, Tony, Tim and Tom. And we're expecting to send them all on Monday. They're getting packed as we speak. So it looks like a little bit of a puddle at the moment, but it will come to fruition when you put your band on. You won't see this sort of overlay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my heat gun and just blast it off a little bit. Because it is a little bit saturated, it is only normal cardstock, but as soon as I pop it under the Eureka, I'm confident it'll go flat. You're very welcome for the stamp, guys, you're very welcome. from the money that we raised, the actual letter that the lady gave me from St Catherine's Food Bank. That's going to be put in a frame. It's still on the side here, but yeah, it will be put in a frame. I'm going to put it in my entrance. Or I might actually put it in studio. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. It depends. Just grab some tissue and just clean this stamp. There we go. So we've got all sort of a background going together here, so it doesn't matter if it goes that way or this way. So I'm just going to pop it under the Eureka, flatten it out, because that is one thing that this tool is very good at, flattening my artwork. So here I have some vellum, just some normal everyday vellum from my stash. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat emboss the same one. Let's just make sure we take, well, I suppose it doesn't matter if the ink is on there. So I'm going to heat emboss a few of these. So the same border that I've used on the actual card I'm using again. This time we're going to heat emboss, so I'm going to use my anti-static bag, get rid of any moisture on there. So I get a nice finish, and I'm going to heat emboss this one in gold. And I'm going to do it 2 or 3 times. So sticky ink pad. Get all that detail in there hopefully. Careful when you pull it back. That looks really, really pretty. So let's just grab some card to catch it on. So it looks quite dull at the minute, but it is stunning. Wait till we heat set that one. I'm excited about that one. So let's just pop this one back in here. And I'm going to stamp it 2 more times. So I've got 3 going on. So be careful if you're not going to heat set each stage. So anti-static bag again. Let's move this one down. So I'm just going to repeat this process 3 times. And the great thing about these ones are, if you want to cut them out, which I'm gonna, they're not difficult. They've not got lots of intricate detail, you know. I think I'm going to brave doing a third without putting the powder on that one. Hopefully it won't dry under the lights. Quick, quick, quick. Be super quick. So basically we've just done 3 images there. So you can see all 3, absolutely gorgeous. There we go. So let's heat set these. Take that stamp off because I don't think we need it anymore. So I will be using this stamp set tomorrow too, and we'll use it in a different way tomorrow. So gun hot, 30 seconds at least. So Audrey, the one that I use is Claire's, the embossing ink pad, and the reason I like this is that you get the refill, so when it starts to lose its stickiness I can just add my own ink, which comes with like a little re-inking bottle here like this. You just add the re-ink, but there are other good ones on the market. There's a Versamark, which is a good one too, so it's personal preference. So now my gun's hot, I'm going to pop it onto my artwork, and as soon as you pop it on, the powder will change because my gun is red hot. And the less time on your card means less warp in your card too. So you can see how incredible that is. And because you've used that anti-static bag, you've got no flecks. It's a relatively neat image. Absolutely gorgeous. So all I'm going to do is, this is going to get tucked behind my border. So I'm not going to fussy cut the base because that's going to be hidden, but I am going to go around the top. So I like to leave a little bit of a border around my vellums. It is personal choice, personal preference, and I think the only reason why I leave a border is because I'm not the best fussy cutter in the world. But if you like to fussy cut, you can absolutely take your time and just enjoy the process. But for me, I'm quite I like to craft fast, and I don't like things that are going to take me hours. But I understand a lot of you do like to fussy cut. So I'm just going around the top, around those leaves, and again, like I said, the detail isn't difficult. So I've got the detail across the top. Can we see that there? I'm not overly bothered about the base of it here because that's going to be hidden, so I'm not going to waste my time. So I'll just take that in there. So I've got one there. Can we see that there? Absolutely gorgeous. So that's that one. So same process. Let's start from here, look. The great thing about vellum, it's so understated, but it's so classic looking, and the things you can do with them is quite incredible. Like, you can take your alcohol markers behind the back side of this and colour it in, and it looks so muted and so beautiful on the front. So if you have got some alcohol markers, try colouring in the reverse of the vellum on the back side here, and it shows through incredibly well on the front, but it comes through very, very muted. Looks really, really pretty. So there's another one, two, and then last one. Am I missing anything? I'm just enjoying myself here. No, everybody's okay. So basically I've left all this bit at the bottom. There's no need for me to cut that one out. And else you'll soon see why in a second. So let's move that to the side. So now that I'll just move those components to that side. What I want to do is I want to use this beautiful bird and flower. Really, really pretty is this one. And I just need my white cardstock. In fact, I'm going to do it on vellum. I think it'll look pretty on vellum. So, stamp on the vellum, hold it in place, pick up the stamp, anti-static again. Don't forget your tea or your coffee. Make sure it's stamped. It's beautiful. It's an absolute beautiful stamp is this one. Can't wait for you all to get it. Can't wait for you to see. Can't wait to see what you're all going to do with it. Or maybe you're not going to do anything with it. A few of you said you're not going to open it because it's limited edition. It is a little bit like that, I guess, isn't it? It's part of our story, isn't it, on Craft Academy? So you can see there, as soon as we heat set this one, it's going to be beautiful. So again, my gun hot. So it should be still hot from earlier, so it should change pretty much straight away. There we go. It's very, very pretty. Show you it on the front, see if it shows any better. Really, really lovely. I like this one a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it over onto its back side. So this is what I was saying about the alcohol markers, but what I am going to do is I'm just going to grab my pencils. So just to show you that you can use your pencils and things like that. So let me just grab a green. So when you pencil on the back side, I'll just push on this one here, on this leaf here. I don't know if this is going to show. Let me just do a few and then I'll turn it over and show you. So basically you just colour on the back side. And it doesn't particularly matter if you go over the lines within. So let me just colour a few first of all so I can show you. Let's just pick a few of the green ones. So I'm using my Himi oil pencils here. But your watercolour ones, if you've invested in the watercolour ones, they will work. You don't have to add the water. So I'm just going to do all the green and show you how incredible it looks when you turn it over. I'm just going to use the same green. I'm not going to be over precious about light or shade. I'm just going to absolutely go for it. And then we'll cut it out. And we'll have a lovely, delicate bird on a branch with a lovely, pretty flower. I'm just doing all the green parts. I'm going to leave the bird the same colour, no colour, same colour, no colour. I'll not turn it over yet. Let's do orange at the centre of each of these flowers, petals. So a bit of orange. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it out with a little bit of yellow. Now if I'd have had my purple pencils, I'd have probably done purple, but I think this is going to look equally as beautiful. So that's my orange, and then we'll swap out into the yellow, and I'm just going to blend my yellow into that lovely orange, because you can blend with oil pencils. So circle motion. I'm going to leave the bird gold. And then when you turn it over, look how pretty that is. Can you see how muted it is? So this is the correct side, but look at it on the back side. It looks pretty, it looks bright. But look how gorgeous it looks. As soon as you turn it over, it looks beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to leave the bird. So get your pencils out, your alcohol markers as well. It'll work with those as well. Not so much your watercolour pens because they take ages to dry, but definitely pens, alcohol pens and your beautiful pencils, particularly your soft pencils. And it will work with your watercolour pencils too, so if you have invested in those, they will work too. So I'm just fussy cutting around this one now. Now I am being a little bit more careful with this because this is going to be the focal point on our card. So I'm trying to twist the vellum rather than twist my scissors. And I am leaving a pretty border. I absolutely love this image. So, I mean, it will only take me a minute or so, but you can take as much time as you like at home. Nobody's not under any pressure at home. And this just onto a washed background without any of the detail would look incredibly beautiful as well, I think. Don't we just love craft, eh? Isn't it amazing how it makes you feel? I'm cutting out a heat embossed bird here and I feel amazing. You can see why people do it, can't you? It's a total distraction, you know. Life is busy. Just having 10 minutes to yourself or an hour to yourself, picking up a paintbrush, picking up those scissors, it's incredible. Lifesaver for some. Do you ever think to yourself at home, what did I do before I crafted? It's like, what did I do before I crafted? What did I do? I'm just snipping away those ugly bits there. Just trying to be a little bit more careful. And there we have, look at him. Is he beautiful? Isn't he just lovely? We need to get a name for him. It could be the Academy mascot. Craft Academy mascot. Think of a name, guys. What should we call him? That'd be cool, hey? So let's start to put our card together. Right, let me just think about where this is going to go. So let's get our sentiment on here. So I'm going to use the one that I adore out of this set, and it's dream, create and inspire, because that is what we're all about. We all dream, we all create, and we all love to inspire. So it's one of my favourites. So let's pop it on here, look. Make sure it's straight. Move it in a little bit maybe. I'm just going to do this one in black. You could heat emboss it if you want to, but I'm just going to go black. So you can truly see it, because it's really, really pretty. I love this one. Dream, create, inspire. I'm so pleased we put this one together for you all. I know you're going to have so much fun with it. This is the first time I've had to play with it, but I have been looking at it since I launched it with you guys. I have been looking at it, wanting to play with it, but you know what it's like. So here's where our card sort of comes together. Let me just see if I've got a tape pen rather than wet glue. I just won't be a second. I'm just going to grab a tape pen. Hopefully, if I can find one. If not, there we go. So let's put the card together. Patricia, you're so gorgeous, I wish. Oh my gosh, I looked like I'd had a fight with a bear this morning. I felt really tired this morning. I don't know what's happened to me. I think it's the come down after TV maybe. Mondays are always a little bit of a struggle. And Mondays are our most important days as well, so, you know, I have to shake myself. You see how it's dragging that card there? It's because it's a little bit wet, so just be mindful of that. So let's pop it onto some nice gold, because we've done a lot of gold embossing, so it'll look rather pretty with a nice gold border. And this will help sort of flatten it out too, because it's got that lovely layer. So let's just turn it over and push it down. And let's pop some pads behind this one. And then this is where your card sort of instantly comes together. So as I always say, if you're making one, make 2 or 3. So I've cut obviously these 3 here at the same time. If you just heat emboss 6, you would have had 2 cards. So if you do like to make and sell, you know, the frustration of getting everything out, putting it away, getting it out for 1 card can be quite dramatic, can't it? Particularly when you're under pressure too to, you know, make these cards. If you're making 1, make 2 or 3 if you can. Leslie, everybody says that, the Doctor Who actress. Yeah, everybody says I look like her. I wish I had her pennies. I bet she's not as happy as me though, with glitter and glue, you know. But yeah, I get told that often. So I'm just going to pop this onto this top folding note card here. So we have a little bit of dimension, but not too much. You can see the dimension down the side there. Not too much though. And then I have my panels here. So can you see the colour and then the gold? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place first. Before we do anything, before I commit, shall we go 1 here? Right, let's pop this onto our banner. Like so, and then I'm just going to be careful when you are using wet glue with vellum, because you will get a crinkle, but let's use our tape pen. So let's go, because we're not going to see it, so let's go. You see how the gold is complementing the colour at the back? Let's go here, look. And then pop some behind here, so you can see now why the fussy cutting wasn't necessary. So I'll just pull it in a little bit. And then we'll have our base one. Push it in a little bit. Like so, and then we'll pop. So we've got a bit of a mess going on at the moment, but always see your cards right to the very end, guys. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do double pad on this one, so I'll get that dimension. So lay a whole host of pads, and then because my pads are not very thick, I'm going to make them thick myself by just adding another one on top. The heat resistant vellum is out of stock. I think the only one we've got is heat resistant acetate, unfortunately. So I'm just going to stand up to make sure this goes straight here. So you can do it as high or as low as you want. So let's go here, because I don't like things too centralised, as you all know. So you can see you've got that watercolour, then the gold. I don't know if it's showing how pretty it is. You see that there? And then with our lovely, we see there? It actually looks quite pretty with the yellow and orange. Because I didn't have my purple pencil, I thought, oh, it's not going to really match, but it does actually look really pretty. So how are we going to adhere this without seeing? I would pop a little bit of tape in the centre of this flower. So you're not going to see. There we go, just make sure it's in shot for you. There we go. So shall we go there? A bit further in, maybe? Let's go there. Like so. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift this bit up here because it's hidden behind that bird, and I'm just going to take that piece of vellum down. That's better. And then just going to pop a little bit behind here, but only behind the areas where you know you're not going to see, guys. You have to be very careful with vellum. Very, very careful. Because it's a nightmare. You do all that hard work and then it just pokes through, and then you need a gem or a butterfly to hide it. There we go. So the base is now flat. I'm going to leave this pretty overhang here because I think it looks quite pretty. So there we go. It's better from the side. You can see how beautiful it is better from the side. There we go. So pretty simple, hey, but really effective, and definitely colour on the back side of your vellums. If you haven't got heat resistant vellum, the vellum that you've got would be okay, I would suggest. I've used it myself where it's not been heat resistant, but make sure, a couple of tips, make sure that your gun is really hot. Get it as hot as possible, and then less time on the vellum, and then all you need to do, if it's not heat resistant vellum, is sort of like airbrush it. So go across, take your gun off, go across, take your gun off, and just do it in slower stages. You know, you don't, heat resistant acetate vellum is incredible, and it's quick and it's speedy, but if you don't have it, try get this as hot as possible and just sort of like airbrush across till it changes, and then go back, and then the vellum doesn't crumple up. You will get away with it. Just try it, you will get away with it. I'm certain of it. So there we go, guys. I hope you like that one. I'll do a little picture after show and pop it on Facebook, and then at least you can go back when you do get your stamp and get the inspiration. Karen's going to do a little folder over on the Eureka fan page, and we'll pop them in there for you so you can go and visit them. For those of you that don't know, Karen makes lots of like albums. So if I have a launch on TV, all the pictures and everything, you don't have to scroll through. They're actually in albums, dedicated albums. So say for instance you want to go and have a look at all the samples that were made for the beautiful Soulful or lamination, there are dedicated albums in there for you. So go and hunt the album that you've got your stamp in your hand for, and you can get the instant inspiration as well. So you haven't got to waste time scrolling through. It's in there for whatever the design team have done, maybe some from me, I'm not quite sure, but they're all in there for you. Just go and find the album that you love. And that's it. Have a lovely afternoon. I'm back in studio with you on Wednesday at 3 o'clock, and we'll use this stamp again, so you've got lots to go out when the stamp does actually land on your doorstep. Have a lovely evening, guys. Love to you all. Take care. See you later. Bye.